What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today on episode 57 of the podcast, we are celebrating a little anniversary of a very special film. It is the 40th anniversary of Steven Spielberg's E.T., and we figured, why not talk about it? I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
that's what I'm getting out.
You should not have had 2 bowls of cereal.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm wired tonight.
2 bowls of cereal.
I'm feeling way better than I was last week. I can actually laugh without going into a spastic coughing fit. It's wonderful. Good. My voice is still a little bit, and my nose is a little stuffy still, but we're better.
Good.
We're better.
I can't promise you I won't go into a coughing fit, but that's okay. That's an entirely unrelated matter.
We just go with it, you know?
Hit the mute button.
Yeah. So, E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Not what my mom called it.
Okay.
My mom used to always call this movie the extra testicle. I promise. That's what she used to call it. I swear to goodness. I'm not kidding you at fucking all.
Oh, God.
He kind of looks like one. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean, the design can be described in many ways.
Oh my God.
I guess they couldn't name it the Scroats, but
oh shit. Yeah, so this movie was released June 11th, 1982. As you all are listening to us, tomorrow will be the official 40th anniversary of this film. Ooh. So we said, it's Steven Spielberg. If you say, hey, let's talk about a Steven Spielberg movie, I'm never going to say no. And this is one of my favorites. This is a fantastic film. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. This was directed, of course, by Steven Spielberg. This was written by Melissa Matheson, whose other credits would be The Indian in the Cupboard, 1995. They're making fun of me. Everybody who's not.
Somebody turned a light on. The light's different.
Oh, yeah. That's what
I was like. I was like, somebody turned a light on. The lighting's different. So go ahead. No, you're fine.
So Melissa Matheson, who wrote wrote this movie, she was married to Harrison Ford.
Oh.
Yeah. From 1983 to 2004. He was actually supposed to be in a deleted scene of this movie right after the frog scene where he lets out all the frogs. There was actually supposed to be a scene where his mother comes in to talk about it, and Harrison Ford is the principal of the school.
They
cut it out.
That would have been cool.
So, but yeah, she also, her last film credit was she helped write the BFG back in 2016. She died in 2015.
Fucking giant.
Yeah. Another Steven Spielberg specialty. This movie. And Purdue, I just love to point this out. So people love to just completely destroy Kathleen Kennedy for ruining Star Wars because she's the head of Star Wars now. And they're like, oh man, she can't make any good movies. You do realize that she was an executive producer on so many movies back in the 80s and 90s. All of the Indiana Jones, E.T., Jurassic Park. Like anything Steven Spielberg had his hands on, Kathleen Kennedy was there. So say what you want, but she's been behind some of the most popular movies throughout time. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Of course, the cover of this movie was the influence for Steven Spielberg's production company, Amblin. Amblin actually was a student film that he made back in the 60s or early 70s. And then after E.T., that's what the production company came out in 1984, and they incorporated the famous moon scene of E.T. with the name. And there you go.
I think they should have done something different
with the logo of his production company.
Yeah, it should have been the shark eating somebody.
Right, the shark
should have been Bruce.
The shark eats Elliot and E.T. jumps out of the water, and just snatches them, and then
that works. Or it could have just been the scene where he hops on the orca and.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
It just eats. There you go. Just do that. Why not? just instead of him, where it does the thing where they're flying and then the emblem comes up. It's just Bruce hopping up on a boat and somebody screaming.
Oh God. Oh man. The music. I mean, the music. John Williams. Another just perfect score when it comes to E.T. Just anytime you hear the theme, get goosebumps. I might tear up a little bit because it's just so iconic and so good. This movie ran at 114 minutes in the original version. When it was re-released in 2002, there was 6 minutes of additional footage. Speaking of the 2002 re-release, that was the 20th anniversary, of course. And they did a lot of changes in the 2002
We heard about this.
re-release. So, most infamously, words are hard. Don't make fun of me, everybody. The scene where the kids are just like they take flight when they're about to get to the cop cars. In the original theatrical shot, they're holding guns.
Shotguns.
Yes. And then when they re-released it in 2002, they were holding walkie-talkies. They digitally removed the guns, gave them walkie-talkies because, they don't want, they didn't want them holding guns. It was a stupid change.
It was very dumb. I agree.
But when they re-released them for the 30th and the 35th anniversary, which is actually the version I have the 35th anniversary edition, they put the guns back.
Oh, good. I didn't realize if they'd done that.
Yep.
I heard that somebody told me they had removed the word terrorist at one point in the movie.
So when the mom is yelling at Michael, because his original costume, the original version was she says, no, you can't go out looking like a terrorist. And then they changed it to hippie in the 20th anniversary edition. But if you buy any of the newer versions, the terrorist line is put back. Because like the version I watched, she says terrorist.
Yeah, that's what we were saying for us.
Yeah. It was just a lot of things that it was, of course, Spielberg wanted to do some of the things like what George Lucas had done with the original Star Wars trilogy in the late 90s, where, it's like visual effects are becoming bigger and bigger. The things that he did with Jurassic Park and what movies were doing, in the late 90s, early 2000s. He's like, oh, well, maybe we can incorporate some of that CGI. And there's actually some CGI shots of E.T. in the 2002 re-release, which I don't think was necessary at all. In the version I watched, there was no CGI. It was all the practical puppet, or the costume that, they had a couple little people and they had like a 10-year-old child who was born without legs play E.T. Like on some of the scenes where he's walking around.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The guy who was behind the making of E.T. was Carlo Rambaldi, who was actually behind the Alien from the original Alien. Also, he created the aliens in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and he did all the special effects for the 1976 King Kong.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
The special effects were horrible in that movie. That movie in general is just not a
it's a
particularly good film.
it's something.
Yes, it is.
But it was just a lot of unnecessary changes that Spielberg kind of did just to kind of make it look better, as Lucas did with the original trilogy when he did all his CGI add-ons and stuff, and it's just unnecessary.
Surprised it doesn't look better. But carry on.
But when they re-released them later on for like the 30 and 35th anniversaries, Spielberg just reverted back to the original version because he's like, there was no need for me to do any of these changes. I want people to see it how it was originally shown, back in 1982. It feels better that way. There's no reason for E.T. to be CG. It's not like he's not doing Yoda flips from episode 2 and shit like that. Like, there's no need for it. It looked good.
The moral of the story is don't change or edit films like after their original release. Like, don't be like, I could do it better. No, just do a different movie then. Do a new movie.
Right. Here's the thing: George Lucas and Steven Spielberg are like best friends. Mm-hmm. So of course Lucas is like, hey, look what I did with my movies. Don't they look better? And Spielberg's like, sure, I guess I'll do that too.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I get it. But it's like, I know they'll probably never do it, but I really want, like, I know many people says, I want a re-release of the original 3 Star Wars films as their original versions.
Yes, because you can't find them.
No, I know. I grew up it's the ones I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see those versions of the movie.
But you can't get them unless you have an original VHS from when they were first released on VHS back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's sad when they have to like continuously add things. Like, no, man, people liked them when they first came out. Like, why do you need all this extra shit? When we go through Tatooine in 1977, why do we need to see this big ass alien that was never there in the first place? That adds nothing to the story.
Yep.
I digress. I'm not talking anymore about Star Wars until we talk
Even
about
though it's
Star
mentioned.
Wars.
I say it's mentioned several times in this movie.
Okay, I lied. We are going to talk more about Star Wars when we get to some scenes. This movie stars Dee Wallace, who is just, I mean, this woman is a gem. All right, let's go through some of the movies that she has done in her career. She was in the original The Hills Have Eyes back in 1977. She has fought werewolves in The Howling from 1981. She hung out with an alien in E.T. in 1982. She fought off a rabid dog in 1983 in Cujo. She was in Critters in 1986. She was in the sequel to Alligator 2.
Oh,
The Mutation. She was in The Frighteners in 1996. So I think that was the Michael J. Fox horror movie where he like sees ghosts or something like that. Yeah,
I think so.
She was, let's see. And then, she was in Rob Zombie's Halloween. She played Laurie Strode's adopted mom. Cynthia
really? That's
Strode.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She gets murked by Michael.
Of course.
She's literally done everything with Rob Zombie after that. Like she was in Lords of Salem. She was in what's the other ones? 3 from Hell. And she's going to be in the new Munsters. Not in a big role, but
she just walked up to Rob. I'm like, Rob, I just need steady work. He's like, I got you.
Got you. And for all of my Office fans out there, she played Andy Bernard's mom in an episode of The Office, I think in like season 8. So if you can find her, you know what I'm talking about. Other casts in this movie, we have Henry Thomas, who plays Elliot. And if you watch anything Mike Flanagan, he was in Haunting of Hill House. He was in Haunting of Bly Manor. He was in Midnight Mass. He was in Gerald's Game. Anything Mike Flanagan has done Mike Flanagan, he's like the new face of horror right now. I mean, he's done all of those, all the things I just mentioned, which are mostly Netflix horror anthologies or however you want to consider them. They're fantastic. He's a fantastic director, but yeah, it's weird to see Henry Thomas. I remember seeing Hill House for the first time, and I was like, "Is that Elliot?" He's like 50 now. And there was officially a sequel to this movie in the form of a commercial back during Christmas time of 2020.
Yes, we watched this on Discord the other day, and our friend of ours was like, play it. I'm like, I had enough ET for one night.
It's like a minute long commercial.
Yeah, it's like ET comes home for Christmas. Like, why the fuck do you care about Christmas?
He just wanted to see Elliot. He didn't care what season it was. He just wanted to see Elliot. I just thought it was great. It put a smile on my face when I saw it for the first time.
So that's all that really matters, dude.
Mm-hmm. It has the guy who plays the character Keys, the man who always has the keys on his belt.
Yes.
Played by Peter Coyote. Just thought I have to mention that name because it's a great name. And Michael's played by Robert McNaughton. Literally did not much of anything after this. I think he did a movie in like 1983, and then it was a couple TV stuff, and then kind of just
you're out, bitch.
And did something else. And of course, we can't mention E.T. without mentioning Gertie, played by Drew Barrymore. 2 years before she started lighting things on fire with her mind.
Kill things with mind bullets.
She's fantastic in this movie. She does her performance in this movie is so much better than what she was in Firestarter.
Oh yeah.
And not to say it was terrible in Firestarter, but boy, she's so good. in this movie.
It probably helps that she wasn't on camera as much in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Comparatively. But she is in there a decent amount.
I mean, I gotta say, Henry Thomas, one of probably the best child performers of that time. Like, I think he did so good as Elliot, showing just all forms of emotion and like truly being a kid. Like the way that he interacts with his brother, and the way that they kind of go at each other. And I mean, this is the early 80s. I don't know how, I didn't grow up in the early 80s. I was a decade later. But he felt like a kid, instead of like, some movies where it's like high school. This kid's 15, but he's actually played by a 35-year-old. And you're like,
yeah,
I just don't feel it. But I get it, because it's easier to direct those. Yeah. Just always picture Steve Buscemi coming in with the skateboard.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I just think he did a really good job. I think all three of those actors did really well at being siblings, and and everything that they did. All right. Well, wait, we didn't talk about the budget. This budget at $10.5 million, and it made a whopping $792.9 million at the box office. But I don't know if that number is initial release or if they count all the because it has been re-released in theaters a couple times.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that factors in, but it's still a lot of fucking money.
Well, it has to do better than what Morbius did on his first.
But what was it, like $82,000 it made in its re-release? Oh my god! Stop it, people!
So like the memes, re-release it. People will watch it. Like, no, dude, that's the reason people don't want to watch it. Fucking Morbin
just
time.
Because it's being.
Look at him on a morb.
Jared Leto put out something. It's literally him holding a script where he's trying to hide it from the person who's taping him, and it literally folds it over and just says Morbius 2. It's Morbin time, written by Bartholomew Cubans. Which is his like alternate name?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I
was like, that's fucking brilliant.
Like, he even takes it as a joke. He knows, like, you
might as well, dude.
Yeah, right. I mean, when you're an actor and you played a movie like that just completely bombs, I guess you just gotta take it to the chest, man, and just move on, or continue the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hate actors who go out there and they're like, I really like that movie, and it's like, well, from what? What did you like about it? Please explain. Because you got a lot of money?
I feel like you're just telling me this because you got a good paycheck.
Yeah, 100%. Jesus. Oh, all right. Oh, few other things. This movie became the highest grossing film of all time, beating out Star Wars when it was released. And it held the record up until 1993, when a little film called Jurassic Park took that record away. It won, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 Academy Awards for Best Original Score, because it's so good. Best Visual Effects, because they're great. Best Sound, and Best Sound Editing. So all great things. And it's in the Library of Congress for being a damn good movie.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go around the room and talk about let's talk about if we can remember our first experience with E.T., and then what it felt like watching it now. And Dan,
pat on me. Okay, on me. Turn. Okay. I don't really have it. Like E.T. for the Atari 2600.
Oh yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that before we get into this. This is linked to one of the worst games ever made. Like the worst game ever made. A game that almost destroyed the video game industry.
It did. It was one of the big contributors to it.
Because Atari and Steven Spielberg met up and said, hey, we want to make a game based on your awesome movie. And Steven Spielberg's like, yeah, I'm on board. And then Atari went to their people and went, hey, we got 5 months to make this game. And they're like, what?
Yeah, and I think literally like just a couple people worked on it. That was it.
Yeah, and you could tell the game is horrible. I mean, this is Atari, where games didn't look great, but this, what?
Think of this day and age that nowadays, generally most games released are decent at best, right?
Yeah.
Not in the mentality that, it's because it's not a fucking 10 out of 10 game, it's shit. No, I mean, it's a decent game. It's playable. It's not like that back then. There were tons of games released for the Atari and stuff that were just broken messes
Yeah.
of games. Happened a lot, and that was another thing contributed to it. But it was a shitstorm altogether. Yep. Bad stuff.
Let's just say they were all
Good.
dumped in a landfill and then discovered like 25 years later or something like that.
Yeah, New Mexico or something like that. And it was supposed to be just an urban legend, and then the people actually fucking found them.
Yep.
And like, oh. Then I'm like, shit, I used to own that. But anyway, no, I legitimately I had not really much nostalgia for this movie. I may have seen it a little bit when I was a kid, but I don't remember. So I have no real big nostalgic ties to this movie.
Okay.
And pretty much this is not my kind of alien movie. So growing up, I was a child of watching 50s, 60s, 70s sci-fi products. So my mentality of alien coming from outer space, generally probably to wipe out the human race or enslave them or use them as breeding pits. And I don't do the whole cute cuddly alien thing. It's not for me. So that being said, I think this is an okay movie. But that's all I got. It's got great cinematography. Like cinematography's great, the actors are good, music's great. It's just, in my opinion, it's just an okay movie.
So it's just the way the story, you just don't like the story of like.
It's not for me. No, it's not like these aren't my kind of. It's like when I watched The Goonies. You should watch The Goonies. It's fucking great. I'm like, I watched The Goonies. I'm like, it was all right.
I mean, I'd be that person.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
It's so good.
I know people like that because they like there's nothing wrong with liking those kind of films, but it's just these are not my kind of movies.
Just the way it's just like the way it's the way you grow up. Like it's what you're shown as a kid. Like that really forms, your opinion on other movies of that genre.
Don't shake your head at me.
Disappointed in you. First you disrespect Taco Bell, then you disrespect the Goonies. What you gonna disrespect next? My mom.
We got a lot of shows ahead of us.
She's a wonderful woman. Anyway, that is no disrespect. If this is the kind of movie, if you like Stranger Things or like the 80s, like kids.
I love Stranger
All right,
Things.
feel good family movie kind of thing. Like, I don't know. This is a movie for you if you've not seen it, but it's all right. This movie fucked over the John Carpenter's The Thing. All right, there you go. You want that? Is that
which
what
came out a week later?
No, it's not. That is not. I know there were a lot of factors that went into that, and I'm sure this did not help. But I know this is not like the sole reason that happened.
Just think about 1982. Think about 1982 for a second. You had Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D that came out in 1982. You had Poltergeist that came out a week before this one. It just celebrated its 40th anniversary. Came out a week before E.T. E.T. comes out, and I mean, listen, it's not even the fact that for me, this movie is amazing. This movie is fucking perfection. Like film-wise, like filmmaking, story-wise, everything is just perfection. But you put Steven Spielberg's name on anything, and people are going to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
John Carpenter, this movie did fuck over John Carpenter's The Thing because of how big it was and who was attached to it. And people, you have your John Carpenter fans who saw it back in 1982, but this was not a good movie to be following at all.
And that's like I said, it's not a shot at this movie at all. It's just how these just are not my kind of movie. Like, I'm not like a big family. This is just not for me.
That's understandable. I respect your opinion.
But I respect this movie's quality, though, because it is a well-made film. It's not a shot against that at all.
You done being negative?
That wasn't negative. I felt that was very fair. You're the one being negative over there.
I'm not saying anything.
That's the problem. Go ahead.
I know I've watched this movie because there's parts of this movie that I remember seeing, but I'm pretty sure I watched it on TV, and I was horrible when I was little, flipping back and forth between two different movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like once the commercials hit, I'd flip over to another movie.
All the time.
So there's like chunks of movies that I don't remember, and I'm like, I don't remember this happening, but I liked it. Like, I still liked it. I would definitely watch it again. Um, like he said, great cinematography. I enjoyed watching it again from start to finish. Not flipping the channel.
She thought about it though.
Watching
Let me
it
just
from
change
beginning to end with no interruptions.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I hated commercials as a kid. I'm
Oh
like,
god,
"Damn
they're the
it,
worst.
commercial again?"
I never showed anything fucking good.
No,
Yeah.
they're terrible. I mean, commercials are still terrible.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't have. Yeah, I guess I get on YouTube. But anyway,
Yeah. I mean, I've said it once or twice already in this show, but this movie is just it's so good. I mean, this is a I mean, it just feels like Steven Spielberg before you even know what it is. The, John Williams score is just it like once it hits, it literally gives me goosebumps every time. The special effects on for ET for the time, they look great. The puppeteering and everything that went on behind that, and the fact that you're getting these actual kids, like I think Drew Barrymore was like 7 when this movie came out. Like she's really young. The Henry Thomas I think was 10, 11 years old, and then I think the other kid was like 15. But you're having them react and act against something that's not technically real. It's just a
Mhm.
guy in a suit or it's somebody just puppeteering it, but it just that's what makes practical so much better than like CG and visual effects, as much as they're needed in a lot of things nowadays, just with the grandeur of filmmaking. Um, the fact of being able to stare at the actual thing you're acting against, you're going to get better reactions from those actors, and to be able to like let's say having a 7-year-old kid stare at a fucking tennis ball that's supposed to be ET instead of staring at actual ET, you're going to get a different performance from that actor because they have to imagine what they're looking at.
I cannot wait till the next movie we talk about that just shits in the face of that idea. And I'm really excited about that. Modern movies using like almost all CG. We just saw it today, and I'm just like, so good.
It's well, actually, technically, when people watch this, we've already talked about it.
Shit. Damn it.
Yeah. Just I mean this movie is so good and well made. The cinematography, like you said, like the way the lighting is, and
Yeah, it's really cool.
yeah,
There's like
and
that air of mystery about some
yeah,
things, the way it's shot and everything. It's really
right.
just neat.
And even in the scenes where you could definitely tell it's blue screen or green screen, especially like the flying scenes, they look a little wonky, but it's 1982. Like they still look damn good for the time.
Them walking in the beginning.
Yeah. Where's
at
the shot of the background and they're walking in front of it?
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
city.
so good.
Like,
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's beautiful. It still gives me it fills me up with emotion every time I see it because it is such a well made story from beginning to end of just I mean the story is just a little alien getting left behind and trying to figure out a way to get home. It's such a simplistic thing if you think about it, but the way that Spielberg adds all those in you know different things to make it more appealing. The fact that E.T. and uh, Elliot have like a connection, like they're actually like once they become friends, they get like linked, like soul wise, like things that E.T. does, Elliot can feel, and the really emotional scene towards the end of the movie, when E.T.'s dying, it's it's really good. They could have just made it so simple and basic, but bravo.
Go watch Mac and Me if you want that shit.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying if you want simple, go watch Mac and Me.
Yeah, you want to go watch the best scene of Mac and Me, just watch any interview Paul Rudd has been on the Conan O'Brien show, because they literally every time they're like, all right, let's watch a clip from your new movie, and it's always the same fucking scene from Mac and Me where the kid is rolling down the hill into the lake. And it's just Mac's head going, huh?
That's great.
Watch it, man. It's so good. For like 20 years, it's just Paul Rudd playing this show in the same clip. Never shows a clip from his movie ever. It's great.
That's all right. It's gonna be like the guy that fucked the pie. I mean, he's get the same shit.
Oh, Jason Biggs, yeah.
Yeah, he'll always be haunted by that
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
pie, dude.
And you know what? He made him a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we talked enough about behind the scenes and all that, and all that fun stuff. Are we ready for a plot breakdown?
We are ready.
To dive into this bitch. All right. E.T. Phone home. Movie starts out with some really eerie credits. Yeah,
That's a ghost movie. I'm sorry, that's
That's
not it.
literally what it sounded like, to be honest. It was very eerie. We go up to the night sky. I love the opening shot of this movie where it's the night sky, and then it comes down, and it like literally first thing you see is the alien ship, the spaceship, and it's a really weird design. It kind of looks like the old popcorn that you would throw on the stovetop, and it would get big. It kind of looks like that.
I just thought it was a leftover Christmas ornament.
It kind of looks like that too.
No,
I know.
It's definitely like a more unique design, but it looks almost familiar.
It's not a flying saucer, which is a very generic spaceship that a lot of films would use. The fact that they, the design of it was really cool. I like how it kind of reminded me of the ship from freaking Close Encounter of the Third Kind, like the way that was designed. The aliens they're like alien botanists. They're going around, they're collecting plant specimens and all that. And
a lot of this
the little waddles. We get some
condom plants that they have.
Oh, the condom plants.
Yeah, it shows the plants that are growing inside the ship, which is cool. All their chests start to glow because I guess that's like a signal. Hey guys, we got to get the hell out of here.
I just told Angela they got a notification.
Yeah, literally.
Group chat.
That's legit what it was. Like, oh, okay, time to go, guys. And of course, we have one that strayed a little too far. He's a little lost. He's very curious about everything, and his chest starts to glow, and he doesn't really react the same way. He's more curious about the city lights. He wanted to go see the city. He sees all the lights, but then a truck drives up and scares the shit out of him. So he starts running, and we get the guy with the keys. Never see his face, just the keys. I called him the key jingling guy until I looked at the credits, and his literal name is Keys. Like, he didn't have a name. He was just Keys. So they chase him, and you get his scream as he's running. The fact that you really don't see him running, I like that, because I think it would have been weird as fuck, because it's like, how would they have done that? Would they like attach the puppet? I know his legs are like this big. Just
I just assume like his legs like fold into his body, and little wheels come out,
or he just like rolls up into a ball and just rolls like Sonic.
Yes, yes. Go,
gotta go fast. Oh my god!
It's almost like he's got flippers on his.
It really does. He's such a
he's a very the way it sounds. Like flippers though.
Like his feet.
Yeah,
she shits on his feet. Like, don't make fun of him.
Like, god damn, he's a sensitive little alien. So, so Mama E.T., she's chilling up on the top of the ramp. She's like, "Where is my little E.T.?" And he's too far. So they're like, "We got to get the fuck out." She's like, "All right, I'll be back later. I'll call you later."
Margaret, we gotta go.
Yeah,
but Jimothy, fuck him.
Jimothy, what a name. Do you think anybody's name is actually Jimothy? I hope someone who listens to the show is listening to the show. He's like, "You're fucking making fun of me, son of a bitch."
He like pulls out his thing, negative comment, 0 stars. Shit on my name.
Making fun of Jimothy. No. Holy shit. Oh man. Holy shit, where am I? E.T. wanders to the city as the humans look for him with awesome green screen as they search for him. Just my wife's like, "Wow, that lady didn't look very good." I'm like, "Yeah, it's because it's just a static image." Oh no, she goes, "Oh, that's really bad CGI." I'm like, "That wasn't CGI. That was just a static image on a green screen and people walking in front of it."
Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. It's part of the charm.
It's 1982. I can't fault it too much.
Nope, not at all.
Typical Friday night, kids are playing a game. Is this D&D? Are they playing D&D? Or like a game that's very similar to D&D?
What did you say?
It looked like Hero Quest, but I don't know if that was released at that time, because it had the little walls and the doors, unless they were just using that like as a physical representation for their D&D? Because they talked about the game master, the dungeon master. I have no idea. I don't know.
Because Elliot wants to play, and they're like, well, you got to ask, he's the, was he the dungeon master or whatever the heck he says. So they're going to get pizza. And it's funny because like you think they're home alone, and then like randomly the mom just shows up and you're like, oh, you were here the whole time? What the hell were you?
Doesn't one of his friends like try to pinch her ass or something?
Oh, probably.
He like tries to poke her while she's been over.
Yeah.
Rude fucking kids.
That's weird. I would have never even thought of doing that to any of my friends' moms. No, thank you. They send little Elliot to get the pizza so he can join the game.
Go get the fucking pizza.
Yeah, go get.
Just let a kid.
If you get the pizza, then you can join in.
Let a kid walk outside. I mean, it's just his driveway, but it's like the middle of the fucking night. Like, I'm not gonna send my kid outside by himself in the middle of the night to go get pizza. I'm sorry. I know it's a different time, but I'm not doing it.
So he goes out, gets the pizza. He comes back up, and he hears something coming from the shed. So he goes to investigate, and he decides he throws a ball into the shed, and the ball comes back out. And he's like, okay, gotta go. So he drops the pizza. Why would you drop the pizza?
Worst part of the movie. I'm like, come on, dude.
You do not. I don't care if you saw Bigfoot. You hold on to the fucking pizzas. You hold them up correctly too. No. Because then you're going to be tossing the pizzas around. The cheese is falling off. You're just getting crusty sauce. You are always holding it vertical. All right. And you're just fucking run. I just need my desk pretending to run. This is a great time. It's important. Okay. You don't fuck with food.
You don't. It's true. I will agree.
So he failed. So he gets scared. He goes inside. He starts saying, there's something in the shed. There's a creature in the shed or something like that. What does he call it? A gremlin or something like that? Or no, not a gremlin.
Goblin.
A goblin. Yeah. And of course, the first thing, which is the reaction I would have as that kid going, what the fuck's a pizza?
Yeah.
Dude, like, what the hell is that?
We'll deal with your goblin situation later, but where's the food?
And I love it. They go outside and they find the pizza and they're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And then the mom
Look what you did.
They ordered pizza.
And the mom doesn't even know they ordered pizza to begin with.
She was there the whole time. Did she just come home from work? Did I miss something?
She changed awful quick.
Come on. I mean, it didn't probably take much. She just stripped down and threw on a robe.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, they go outside to investigate. And something's there, but they don't know what. They all go back inside. Elliot goes back out to investigate. The shed lights are still on. He discovers that there's footprints heading out into the cornfield that's behind his house, or like the just long grass, I guess. And he comes face to face with the little goblin
in his suspiciously human teeth.
Yeah. And then he just fucking runs. So the next day, Elliot tracks and tries to lure E.T. Of course, this is where you get the Reese's Pieces.
Hell yeah, dude.
He uses to lure. Reese's peanut butter cups are better than Reese's Pieces, by the way.
Yes. But I still do love Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, Reese's you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. What now? You do.
Here to eat.
We could put them in our noses and go chew them out.
No.
I tried.
It's wasting.
Well, this kid fucking wastes them too.
You accidentally you go to blow, but you accidentally suck in. The thing gets stuck in your nostril, and you're at the hospital getting them taken out with a tweezer. Never happened to me.
And you think the reason there's 12 Reese's Pieces in your lungs right now? I just wanted to keep trying it.
What brings you here today? I think I have something stuck in.
As he's walking, you just hear like rattle.
The worst I did was snort hand sanitizer, and that shit was awful. I was in 7th grade. It was a terrible experience.
I fucking imagine. Oh, since you're on that note, I got a business. Dumb shit you do when you're in middle school. Okay, you remember back in the day when Certs mints came in like those plastic credit card looking things, and you could like pop open the sides and get the little mint out? Mm-hmm. So like I was in middle school. So like they're like tiny mints, tiny mints, and they were like a credit card size little deal, right about that thick. And you pop open the side and you can shake one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some dude's like, I bet you $1 to eat all of those at one time. And my logic was one of those packages costs $1. So I'll break even if I do this with one go. All of them at one time, I couldn't even breathe. It's just like ice death going into your lungs. So anyway.
Jesus.
Because you bought up the snorting a hand sanitizer because
I didn't do anything like that.
That's not what I heard.
So
just kidding.
So E.T.
I don't know.
So Elliot is trying to lure E.T. to his special spot out in the woods, but he runs into Keys, who's really terribly looking for E.T. by just moving a couple blades of grass on the side of the road.
Yeah,
he's not looking very hard.
Why isn't he under these 2 pebbles? I don't understand.
They're like, Steven's just like, hey, just pretend like you're looking for something. And he's like, well, you got to actually move. Like, you can't just stand in the same 2-foot perimeter here. So, yeah, he leaves a Reese's Pieces trail back to his house. We have a lovely family dinner. This is where you get the penis breath line. What he yells, Elliot yells to his brother, which is just great.
I will say this character did redeem himself for me because in the beginning, I know he gets kind of shit on for being the little middle brother because I guess
because Gertie's the youngest.
Yeah, he's like the youngest, so he's like the middle kid, right?
Yeah.
Like he was like seemed like a real shithead at this point in the movie, but like he kind of he redeems himself. It kind of makes sense of what happened with his dad and shit like that. So whatever. Right. But yeah, dude, they're eating some good food. They're eating like hamburger steaks.
That magically reappear.
Yeah, that magically reappear.
Gotta love just completely missing those things. Yeah, so they were done. Why does he still have a whole thing on his plate? Did he grab another one? No, there wasn't anything else on that plate.
Well, so Gertie's is like half gone. They turn and it shows Elliot turns back and it's a whole freaking sorry, spitting on myself. Whole freaking hamburger steak. And it's whole again. It's like
I wonder if Drew Barrymore just like kept eating and like just give her another one. She won't stop eating them. Like just put another one on. Like no one's gonna notice.
I hope it was cooked thoroughly because part of it was she had some red meat going on.
She'll be alright. She'll walk it off.
It's fine. It's just hamburger.
Salmonella didn't exist at that time anyway, so we're fine.
And that's mostly with chicken.
E. coli didn't exist at that time.
Yeah.
The mad cow disease.
Mad cow disease.
So I love it though when he calls his brother penis breath and his mom is trying so hard not to laugh. She's
I was like
Elliot. And then she's like,
oh shit, don't do that.
Oh my god, I would have laughed my ass off if my son any of my kids just yelled out penis breath. I would have, but I wouldn't even have like tried to hide it. I would just laugh out loud. Like,
that was the most realistic parent reaction I've ever seen in the movie. Like, okay, like why don't was like we've done that before. The kids have said something, and one of us usually just has to dip, like this, and like I've had a few times she's had to walk away when the kids are trying to say something funny, and I have to stone face it because I'm like, you can't laugh at it.
Yeah,
it's so hard, dude. It's so fucking.
It's great. So Elliot upsets his mom when he's talking about his dad. He talks about how he's in Mexico, and it kind of catches her off guard because she doesn't know where he is. And then like she's like, oh, whatever, I'm fine. And then she like walks away, and of course the brother's like, you fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Is he the dad of all of them? I don't know. We get no clarification on that.
I think they just found Gertie. I mean, hell, I don't know.
Gertie calls the mom Mary.
Yeah, but it's her mom. It's her mom.
Okay.
Because
I was
Michael calls her Mary at one point too. I think they all do at least once.
That's rude as fuck, by the way.
Oh yeah, you don't call your parents by their first name. No, I do to my mom, not. But no, I'm just kidding. Oh, man,
that's good.
So, yeah, she gets upset, but then she turns around, she just walks away. She's like, he doesn't even like Mexico. Just storms off. Yeah, and it's just like, you idiot. Why would you mention that? And then he goes, Elliot's got to wash the dishes, so. And of course, he's wasting a lot of hot water. He turns on the hot water and it's just steaming like a banshee. And he's just standing there. Wash the fucking dishes. You're wasting hot water. This is 1982.
I mean, their water gets hot really quickly.
This is California in the early 80s. What are you doing?
Yeah, actually, they might have a gas furnace if it gets hot that fast.
I don't know. It turned it on and immediately started steaming.
Absolutely. Ellie goes on ET Watch as E.T. makes his official appearance because he puts a trail of Reese's Pieces up to the chair he's sitting in. And of course, like Elliot doesn't know how to react in this, like one of those moments. Like, and I did this a bunch as a kid. Like you get really scared and you can't like yell. You're like,
Yep.
Mom, Michael, help.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, I guarantee that happened to me many times. You just get so scared. You're just like, I can't get anything out. Elliot,
This where you get.
Oh, go ahead.
Is this where he gives him the Reese's Pieces?
Yeah, he gives it back to him.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
like
drops 'em.
E.T.'s like, here's your candy, kid. Don't litter. Next time, or it's your
Yeah.
ass.
He's
Don't
like,
litter.
I can only eat so much before my tummy hurts.
Have them.
Here's for later. But it's funny, he gives them back, but then he uses them again to lure him into the house.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right.
Advanced civilization, my ass.
Yeah.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. That's exactly what I thought as I'm watching E.T. like pick up the pieces of candy to get into Elliot's room. Just James Woods. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. What isn't this? Yeah, this happens another time in the movie. Who the fuck just eats candy off the ground?
Oh.
Later this happens. I'm like, who the fuck does this?
Well, I mean, he's a
found the-
little alien, so I guess that's
No, it was
Yeah, but being highly advanced enough, why would you go to a different planet could be susceptible to the diseases on and just start eating shit
because
off
he's a
the ground?
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, child alien.
Is he? I don't
Well,
know.
the guy when they were for him, he just picks it up and eats it.
Yeah, it's like those Reese's Pieces on the ground here. One of the government officials, and then
right.
I'm gonna eat this fucking candy on the ground. Could be squirrel turds. What are you doing, man?
Nobody said they were smart.
No, absolutely not.
You get the scene where he's in the room. He starts to like pull stuff off of the table, and then of course it's the
Pea water.
pea water. What?
Yeah.
No, so you get
I'll
the
tell you later.
scene where E.T. is copying Elliot.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah,
of
we're good.
kind of reminds me of the scene between Chief Brody and his son in Jaws, where
Yeah.
you know, very similar scene. And Elliot's just like falling asleep, standing up. So it's time for bed. The keys, and his men continue their search. They discover the Reese's. Oh no!
Eat it off the ground. Oh,
Elliot
poop off the ground.
has such a fucking genius idea for getting himself out of school by sticking the thermometer in the lamp to get it hot and then shoving it in his mouth so it looks like his fucking temperature's high.
You got to be very careful doing that because I've done that before. Not because of this movie. You got to tap it real quick because if you hold it obviously for too long, it'll spike higher than the thermometer will read and it'll just say error. So you got to kind of until it hits to about like 100, 101.
I don't think he was holding it there for very long.
I think he's using a mercury one though.
Yeah, I was talking about for an electric one. You got to like
like
real fast,
old school. Like
just
if this
enough
breaks
to
in your mouth, you're gonna die of mercury poisoning.
Yeah, I've done it a time or two when I was a kid to get out of school.
So yes, he gets out of school for having a fever. Just a genius idea. Michael backs the car down the driveway horribly. I love that. They just show him just like crashing into shit as he's backing up the car. Oh, I love it where Gertie's like, Michael hit some stuff. He's like, yeah, I'll speak to him later. Elliot gets E.T. to come out and tries to communicate with him. He shows him his toys. You get a Guido toy. You get Lando. You get Boba Fett. Yes, Boba Fett makes an appearance in this movie. He makes a longer appearance in this movie than he did in his own fucking show. Bah.
There you go.
And he shows him his Pez dispenser, and I'm like, man, I really want some fucking Pez right now, even though they're awful.
Right? Yes, they are, but they're so cool.
The dog, Harvey, does not like E.T. Elliot grabs some snacks, and E.T. hides. So he goes, I like how he goes into the fridge, and he grabs some stuff, and then what happens with E.T. where he like feels that reaction? Like he's grabbing stuff out of the fridge, and something happens with E.T. where he gets scared, and Elliot feels the same thing.
I don't remember specifically what it was that triggers it.
And that's where you kind of start to sense that they have a connection. Like they have this like weird I don't know what you would describe it as, like a telekinetic connection or something like that.
Yeah, like a mental link or something.
Mental
like
link,
that.
yeah.
Neural link.
So Michael comes home from football practice. Elliot shows him E.T. It goes as well as I guess you could imagine, bringing your brother home and saying, hey, I have an alien hiding in my closet. You want to see him? And be like, this is weird, Elliot. No one wants to see that. Gertie reacts normally with a lot of screaming. This is the very famous scene of her coming in and seeing him, and she screams, he screams.
Books
She
fall
runs
off the wall.
Yeah. It's a very fun experience. And pretty much it's like, keep your fucking mouth shut, Gertie. I swear to God.
Yeah. Like it's all about interrogation, like threatening to rip up her doll and shit.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Tell me.
Like, you son of a bitch.
And E.T.'s like, torture is acceptable.
And she doesn't like this.
An impressionable youth, and this is okay.
Keys is getting closer. Dun, dun, dun. They try to figure out where E.T.'s from, and he's from far out there, man. Far out, man. Keys is right at Elliot's doorstep. It's literally, like, Elliot can hear him out there. Like, they're walking outside the fence line. And he's like, oh, shit. And just, like, books it back in there.
Yeah.
We find out E.T. has, like, healing power. He can heal plants. Like, he literally, like, his finger glows and the flower grows back into a pretty flower. Boy, the name calling, is this normal name calling in the 80s? Is this how it went down? I know you guys were born a little after this, but Jesus, some of these names are hilarious. Classic. Between, I think it was like Elliot and one of Michael's friends. The one who always has the headphones on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like outside the bus.
Greg. Fucking Greg.
Yeah, shut up, Greg.
Shut up, Greg.
Yeah, it's like, can you not come up with something a little better?
Oh, it's great. Love it. Frog dissection at school. And
That's
it doesn't go well. E.T. goes in search of food. E.T. drinks some beer. And of course, everything that E.T. does, Elliot starts to feel. So Elliot starts getting really drunk at school.
Blitz.
He is. And then E.T. and Elliot are, this is where you really get the full idea that E.T. and Elliot are like pretty much one. Anything E.T. does, Elliot feels. So this is where I think like E.T. isn't he watching something on TV? And he's like, gotta save, protect or save something. And that's when Elliot's like, we gotta protect and release all the frogs. And he runs around the classroom. I love the girl who's standing on the chair and she's just screaming. Oh, it's great.
I like the one of the movies he was watching on TV, E.T., when we were flipping through was This Island Earth.
Yep. Which
was the film that Mystery Science Theater covered for their movie, which is a great movie, by the way.
E.T. discovers a Buck Rogers comics strip.
Oh, yeah.
Elliot, and this is kind of another reason where like that connection happens, where Elliot starts to release all the frogs. You get the scene where it's literally the scene on the TV. Elliot is reenacting it with the girl.
Yeah, with the girl.
Where he like twirls her around and he kisses her. I love how the kid like falls down and he uses the kid as a step to get to her.
Yeah.
And then Elliot just gets dragged away, dragged to the principal as the girl, and then it shows the girl's feet and her foot turns. She liked it. Mom and Gertie come home, and the fact that she doesn't see E.T. this entire time is beyond me. Like, she is in a hyper-focus mode.
The thing I told Angela when this is happening, where like E.T.'s like running around and moving in between them and all this stuff, when she's like trying to get stuff, I was like, Benny Hill, dude, just play Benny Hill music.
It's what it was. Like, the fact that she doesn't notice it, I just love that Gertie's just like, he's right there. Like, you want to see him?
I think you killed him when you hit him with the door.
Killed him already.
She smokes him with the refrigerator, and I was like, I think you killed him.
That was good. That was good. I like that. Like, well, he's dead.
Oh, man. I just love it. She gets the phone call from the school, and she's like, Elliot's intoxicated? And she's saying it so dry, too. She's like, oh, really? Elliot's intoxicated? Like, your 10-year-old is drunk.
Like, do you have the
and
right
that's
Elliot?
your reaction?
Has this happened before?
Was this like a disbelief? And then she also discovers the Coors Light can on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Miller's better.
Ugh.
They're all gross.
So yeah, you find out E.T. can talk. Gertie gives him a little makeover, and he tells Elliot, E.T. home phone. That's the first thing he says. A lot of people think if the first thing he says, E.T. phone home, it's actually E.T. home phone, and then it gets fixed later when he says E.T. phone home. But I love how he got Gertie dressed him in the wig and the whole drag look, and I love Elliot's reaction. She's like, "Oh God, what did you do?"
Poor E.T.
Oh, it's great. He doesn't give a shit.
No.
E.T. and Mike find things to help E.T. create a communicator, and the men outside in the creepy ass van are listening in. Like, we're about to come in there. Go get that alien. E.T. has the healing touch. I don't remember what is it? What does he heal? Oh,
he cuts his finger open.
Yeah, he cuts his finger open with the saw blade, and E.T. heals it.
Ouch.
Mom reads Gertie Peter Pan as E.T. and Elliot listen in.
And E.T. right there gave Elliot radiation poisoning.
Yep. And then 30 years later, we see E.T. 2, where Elliot is on his deathbed, suffering from it's nothing good. And E.T.'s like, "Let me help," and he's like, "You've helped enough."
Yeah.
No, it'd be E.T. 2, the new brood, or E.T. 2, the next mutation.
Elliot is just a fucking hideous monster.
E.T. 2 killing season.
Oh my God.
What happened to E.T.?
What is going on? Holy shit.
Speaking of that, I need to think this is the only time I can think of bringing this up, because I thought of it earlier when you were talking about it. When are we going to cover the true sequel to E.T.? The E.T. porno.
We're never covering porn on this.
They never.
I'm just upset that actually exists.
Dan, if you want to start a show on our, whenever we decide to start a Patreon, and we'll start a show where we just sit down and cover porn parodies. Just dissect porn parodies.
Can I name it Sweaty Palms and Baby Lotion?
But here's the thing. Sure. But listen, we can only talk about the story of the porn, not what's actually going on between the people in the porn.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 5 minutes tops, right?
Yeah, 100%. No one ever pays attention to the fucking story. E.T. builds.
That's not a joke. I was saying it's not a joke. There was actually an E.T. porn. Like, I'm legit.
There's a porn for everything.
Yeah, I know, but it's really fucking carry on.
Yeah, yep.
Just carry on.
E.T. builds his communicator. Damn it. You can't go as a terrorist, Mike. This is the line that was originally, it was switched in 2002 to, you can't be a hippie, which is like, it's such a stupid thing to say. And then they were like, fuck it, we're just going to go put the original line back in there. And what is he dressed as?
I don't know.
I don't even know what it was.
He's got a knife through his head, though. Yeah. Not Elliot, but the other guy.
Yeah. It's Trick or Treat with Ghost E.T., who they have to pretty much tell it's Gertie.
Ouch, dude! It's a fake knife. Stop it, you little
stop it! Stop it! And why is Gertie all by herself at the lookout spot? This 7-year-old girl is just by herself at the lookout spot.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, what? No fucking way would that happen.
I know they were supposed to like meet up, and like E.T. was supposed to go home, and they're supposed to meet up and come back with her or whatever.
Yeah, I understand times were different back then, but nope. This is when they are walking E.T. down the road in his ghost costume, and they run into Yoda.
Yeah.
And he immediately points at it and goes, home.
Yeah.
And of course, people have their theories that, and George Lucas added it into the Star Wars universe where there is a scene in episode 2, or is it episode 3, where it's a Senate scene. I think it's when Palpatine is being deemed Chancellor, and one of the people celebrating in the Senate, like one of those pod things, is E.T.'s species.
Yep.
So
It's true facts.
yeah, E.T.'s species is Star Wars. He is part of the Star Wars universe. So E.T. the extraterrestrial, this is just it's just Star Wars.
Yep, it's true.
Yep. It was a great Yoda costume, by the way. Very detailed mask.
For the time, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yoda wasn't freaked out by any of this. He's not Yoda. Fuck. E.T. is such a like just a well-rounded individual. Is not freaked out by anybody else in masks with knives and shit like that. Just plays it cool.
Yep. It's now time to ride in the bike. E.T. and Elliot take flight, and this is where you get the classic moon scene where they fly through the moon. Or not fly through the moon, but they fly in front of the moon. They just fucking collide with the moon. How do they get there so fast? Elliot's been dead since they hit the atmosphere.
That's right. Fuck the moon.
Let's see what this pile of scraps can do. As he takes his communicator out to see if it works. Mom leaves the house in keys, and friends, they go in. Clearly, they didn't lock the doors because in 1982, you didn't need to lock your door. There was only a serial killer walking around.
Yep. That was normal.
Yeah. The device works. Woo! They're searching for E.T. Not good. Elliot's not looking as so good as E.T. waits for his family. And he's like, I'm not, we need to go home. And he's like, home, as he's pointing to the sky. And he's like, no, motherfucker, I'm cold and I want to go home.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
Not yours.
They wake up the next day. Well, Elliot wakes up the next day and E.T. is nowhere to be found. And he's not feeling so great. So he goes home. He's feeling like shit. His mom's like, oh, shit, you don't look good. And he tells Michael to go find E.T. And this was just before Elliot's mom. What is Elliot's mom's name?
Elliot's mom.
Mary.
Mary. I know. We talked about this earlier.
Yep. I don't remember it either.
Mary.
Well, I only remember because I had to look it up. I'm like, did she just call her Mary?
Yeah. Okay. I should have figured that. Yeah. So she's talked to the cops to try to file a missing persons report.
Oh, can we go back? You were talking about leaving a 7-year-old at the lookout.
Yeah.
Do you remember the mom left Gertie alone at the house when she went to pick up Elliot from the school when he was intoxicated?
Yeah.
Like,
just pick her ass up, set her in the fucking car, and go with you.
She's like, be good. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Like, what? You can't just leave your 7-year-old at the house by herself?
Different times.
Yeah, seriously. Elliot asks Mike to find E.T. As I said, he finds him on the brink of death. He is literally found white as a ghost in like the stream being gnawed on by raccoons.
Yeah, he got overdosed on fresh water. He's like, I need some of that fresh water.
Yeah, just
filter feeding.
He's like he's part of that alien race from Signs where water actually hurts him. Oh no, I drank too much.
Damn you, Mel Gibson. Joaquin Phoenix.
Why is he wearing that funny hat? Oh god. God, I can't wait to talk about Signs. Mom doesn't like the surprise of meeting E.T. Not at all. She drops a perfectly good coffee mug, by the way, and shatters it. It was very slow, too. Just place it down. What's wrong with you? Oh, man. I mean, I guess she sees an alien in her room. It's kind of surprising. Spacemen come from everywhere, literally wearing a full-ass astronaut suit, just coming in through the fucking windows, coming in through the front door. Dude, the dramatic, like all of these government people and their entrances are fucking gold. All right. They're so dramatic. Like the scene where they're rolling the fucking, those giant tunnels up the hill and you got the fucking, all of them lined up in a line, just like super dramatic. It's hilarious.
Who the fuck does this?
I don't know.
Outside of NASA.
NASA, apparently.
Apparently NASA had too much money at the time, so they had to make a theatrics division.
Yeah. And now they're like, where'd all that money go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
damn it.
So they come up, they find E.T. He's not looking so great. I like how he sees that the guy dressed up in the astronaut outfit, and he's just like, home. The house is quarantined. Elliot and E.T. are not doing very good. The man asks Elliot about the communicator and the importance of E.T. being there. I was very confused on when he's talking about this, because he's talking about, I dreamed about this since I was 10 years old. So at first I heard it as like he knew E.T. before everybody else, but I don't think that was the case. I think it was literally like they were just trying to discover alien life.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
But the way that I listened to it the first time, it sounded like he had a relationship with E.T. Then I was like, nah, that can't be right. This is like the first time E.T.'s been here. I don't know. It was a weird way of taking it. And then the bond kind of separates between Elliot and E.T. Elliot improves.
E.T. cuts him off.
Yeah. Elliot improves, but E.T. dies. And you notice the flower die, which indicates that he's dying. And why is Gertie there? Get her out of there. She doesn't need to see this shit. Yep. This is dramatic, man. She's like bawling her eye. Like, I swear to God, she was actually crying. Like, she was terrified of something. They fucking showed her a picture of, I don't know, what she was going to look like when she was a teenager.
Ah!
Like, your life is going to be terrifying. Sorry, I shouldn't go into that.
3 years later when she's addicted to drugs.
Oh, God. Listen, she's improved. She's better now.
Yes.
Good for you, Drew. Proud of you. Your show's on way too much in my house. Elliot talks to E.T.'s corpse until he starts to glow and sprouts back to life. Yes! You can't kill E.T. You can't kill that shriveled up scrotum.
Scroats never die.
Scroats my goats. You can't die.
Yes.
What were you going to say, Dan?
I think he forgot.
No, that was good. I like scroats my goats. Anyway, no, what I was going to say is I always took the scene, like, because this is my first time, or I've taken this scene, that's my perception of this, is not that, like, he was healed through the power of friendship or the heart of the cards or whatever, but he was healed by, like, as with Elliot, where he can't leech off his life force anymore, because they're a parasitic species. He needs to, when his own race is getting close, like, that's how they exist.
Oh.
They have to have a link to one another for them to
so
actually
that's kind of an indication that they're nearby.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I could be wrong, but that's like it's like
I like
they
that
have like
theory.
They have like a symbiotic kind of relationship. It's like it's the whole mental link thing. They need to like feed off of one another.
Or he was healed by the Care Bear stare.
It was the Care Bear stare?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or it could be that he just had a call on Zoom. He's like, fuck, I gotta take this guy.
I
have no time to die. We're never going to get that expansion done at this rate. This is ridiculous.
Oh, man. Michael steals the van containing E.T. He tells his friends, meet us at the top of the hill. Did you know?
What do I do? You drive. I've only gone in reverse.
One of Michael's friends is played by C. Thomas Howell, who was part of the Brat Pack in the 80s. He was in like The Outsiders, other movies from that time. He was in The Amazing Spider-Man. Was
he?
Yeah, you remember the bridge scene where the Spider-Man's got to save all the people that are getting their cars thrown off the bridge.
Yeah,
and he has to save the kid. The kid's dad was C. Thomas Howell.
Oh,
he was one of the crane operators. Come on, Spidey, grab on all the cranes that are just conveniently here.
Thank gosh we had all these cranes just for this instance, this emergency. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's who that is. He wasn't fucking Greg though. He was one of the other. I can't remember what his name was.
Greg.
Fucking Greg. Shut the fuck up, Greg. The hazmat suited men, they hang on for dear life as Elliot disconnects the tube. I love how he just disconnects them nice and slow. And they're like, wait, no.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah. We don't even get good benefits. Mike's friends meet E.T. Fucking Greg. That's literally what it says in my notes. Bike. I miss biking around with my friends, avoiding the authority. It was a great pastime of your childhood.
See, the funny thing, and my favorite part about all this is where everybody's like, let's ride bikes away from the govs, the feds,
Yeah.
but let's ride it all conveniently close to a road.
Yeah.
Let's just go like off. You have a bike, dude. Just fucking ride through a field.
Yeah. And
Go through trees.
And then there was the scene. It wasn't like somebody dressed up like Elliot with like a decoy, right? And they like stop
Maybe.
him thinking it was him, but it wasn't. It was actually one of the friends that had like just a decoy in the basket that was supposed to be E.T. so that they were going after him, but actually Elliot and everybody else was riding off in a different
Yeah,
direction.
because they kind of split up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's time to fly. And that's where you get the scene where right before they get to the cops say, take flight. And this is where they had the scene where they changed it from the guns to the walkie-talkies, and they got changed back to the guns.
And they're like, hey, they're taking off in the air. Like, yeah, but they're moving kind of slow. This should be easy target.
It's like skeet shooting.
Yeah.
No.
They did not do that. That did not happen.
I'm happy they didn't do that. They make it back to the spot, and E.T.'s ship is there. Oh. It's time to say goodbye.
Deuces, E.T.
I love you, E.T. I'll be right here. As he points to his forehead. He's like, where?
Giving him
be on my
cancer.
Yeah.
forehead? Jesus Christ.
It's like a tiny ET head spawns out of it. It's like it's like a ball sack.
Hey, just Totes McGoats Jr. just hanging off your forehead. Poor Elliot.
My balls are really itching. He goes for both. Oh God, this episode's fantastic.
Oh Lord,
this is exactly what you people pay for.
Nothing.
Man.
Nothing. Yes, you pay nothing, and this is the quality you get for the nothing that you pay.
Oh man, he hugs E.T. He says the line. E.T. carries the flower from that kind of the symbolizes his life and death, and he takes it back on the ship. He flies away, and he leaves a rainbow. They leave a rainbow behind the ship, which is cool. And Elliot cries as he watches on. And then the movie's over. There it is. E.T.
Yep,
the extra terrestrial. Oh, and we forgot to mention, well, at least I forgot to mention, Drew Barrymore is actually Steven Spielberg's goddaughter. I think I've mentioned that on the show. I don't
maybe
remember.
you did. We did Firestarter, maybe. I don't know.
Or I was listening to somebody else's podcast, and they were talking about Drew Barrymore and Steven Spielberg's relationship and how it was weird. I was like, well, it's really not that weird. He's her godfather, so I think they actually have a good relationship.
He's good friends with Keanu Reeves, too.
Yes, she is. She is. What movie did they do? Well, they did a movie in like the late 80s together, I think, or like early 90s. I can't remember what it was. This was like during the Bill and Ted days.
Oh.
So the I don't like his feet line that Gertie says when she sees E.T. in the closet, when he's like after she has that initial reaction with him. It was actually ad-libbed by Drew Barrymore because the puppet or the animatronic, which she was like, anytime E.T. is stationary, it's an animatronic. And it had a lot of wires coming out of its feet. And she saw all the wires coming out of its feet. And that's why she says that. And they just ended up recording her reaction. And they're like, it sounds great.
Yeah, that works, man. Keep it genuine.
Yep. So yeah, there it is. E.T. This was man. What a fun movie. Dan.
No, that's it. No,
don't get close to the microphone and not say anything.
I'm waiting for you to for.
I don't have anything. I'm waiting for you to say something.
Oh no, you got to keep going. I'm handing the ball back to you. It's a fake. It's fake lateral. You keep the ball. Keep going.
I just say it's a good movie. I love this movie.
I think
I'll probably
most
watch
people
it
will.
again. Probably not soon, but I'll watch it again fairly soon. Probably next year at some point.
I think most people would like this movie. I think it's heartwarming. It goes dark. It goes dark. Sorry,
it definitely does. It definitely does at the end. When E.T. is like white as a ghost and he's dying, and you have that really like heartfelt reaction from Elliot as he's like telling him like, "Stop it! You're hurting him. You're hurting him." Like, it's really good. Just shows that Henry Thomas, fucking fantastic performance.
Yeah.
and you know, I knew this stuff happened because, you know, people have talked about it in various video reviews or whatever. But like the government, even though they're the fucking government, really doesn't come off as a bad guy per se.
No, not really.
Not like, you know, just because you know, obviously they have their own selfish reasons for having them there.
Yeah.
But like they do genuinely, they try to save ET. Like, you know, they're like, you know,
Yeah,
getting back
they're
to life
giving
and all
him
that shit.
CPR and doing all that stuff, and
Yeah.
it's you know, you don't have your like fucking mustache twirling villain who's like, I'm going to study him, and who's like, they wanted him alive. So
Yeah, does nobody think that at the end of this movie that these kids will not be like monitored by the government for like the rest of their fucking lives?
right. Well, you missed the deleted scene from that ET commercial where at the end, like after their great Christmas, the fucking government just drop kicks Elliot's door and just fucking gotcha, bitch, and just fucking gets,
FBI, open up, get down on the ground. Does he have a dog in that commercial?
I probably
Okay, good. It'd be bad if it was the ATF because they just shoot his dog. But
be
anyway,
like Harvey 4, like they do with Full House. They just keep fucking getting another dog and just calling it like
Harvey.
Comet the Second or Comet the Jesus Christ.
They do that.
Come up with a different name, man.
Snowball, the cat.
Isn't that cat black?
Yeah.
Black.
Well, no, the first one was not. It was Snowball, and then the second cat was black and was Snowball too. And there's probably more cats in that. But anyway, closing thoughts.
This movie was in theaters for a fucking year. Did you know that? Longest
That long?
theatrical run ever.
I mean, if you're making the movie,
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's a long ass time.
that is.
What do you think?
Yeah, you got that.
All right, so something we're going to be doing, or we've been trying to do at the end of every show is I posted on Twitter what we are recording. So this week, of course, was ET, and we asked people to leave their comments. And we only got one this week, but, you know, we said it. If you post something, we're going to read it. So on Twitter, Darren Wagner at 882 Wagnerd said, okay. It's not a good one, by the way. Okay, I can't stand ET, and for one reason and one reason only. Back in the day, they had an ET ride at Universal Studios, which they still do. I've been on it. I'm talking the one in Hollywood. Never been to Orlando. Okay, so I guess the one in Hollywood doesn't. I've been to the one in Orlando. So I'm talking. Okay, wait, sorry. I'm talking the one in Hollywood. Never been to Orlando, so want to make the distinction, as I already made your distinction clearly. And before you got on the ride and gave them your name, and at the end he says, bye, John, Amy, whatever you tell them. The bastard never got my name right, even going through multiple times, so he can go fornicate himself.
Yeah. He shit on the movie for some dude's lackadaisical.
Thank you, Darren, for that comment,
yes,
and make sure to send. I post them every week, so you know, make sure to leave your comments on what your experience with the films and all that. So
yes, thank you,
Darren. Appreciate you. I thought this was really cool, especially since these two ended up working together. But Richard Attenborough, his film Gandhi came out in 1982. Richard Attenborough, who would play John Hammond in Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of acting, of course. He's a very famous actor. But he also was a very famous director. He directed Gandhi. He directed Chaplin and other very acclaimed films. He actually came out and said, like, E.T. was a much more deserving film to win Best Picture, because Gandhi ended up winning Best Picture that year.
Huh. Okay.
And it's cool because later on, Steven Spielberg would work with Richard Attenborough in Jurassic Park and the Lost World. So
that's correct.
And he would be, you know, forever engrossed in Jurassic Park lore for years and years to come.
Yeah. And something relevant we could talk about, since you said this movie, when is this going to release?
Friday.
Friday. So what will that be?
The 10th.
The 11th? The 10th.
Wait, is the 11th on Friday? Or is it the 10th?
10th should be on Friday.
Yeah, okay.
So after you listen to this video on Friday, I'm assuming this is you listening to it on Friday as the viewer, the listener, whatever. After you listen to this or watch this, you need to go watch another Steven Spielberg related project because Jurassic World Dominion comes out that day.
Yes.
So that'll be dropping. You guys need to go see that. And then after that, you need to go watch our Jurassic Park 3 video.
Yes. And when Dan says watch Jurassic Park 3, it's not go
Just
watch
listen.
the fucking movie. You
As I
watch
said, our video.
review. Yeah.
I said our
Sometimes
video.
though you just say watch Jurassic Park 3.
I know.
We don't want you to do that. We want you to watch or watch or listen to our review of Jurassic Park 3, which is way better than the movie itself.
Let's just hope Dominion is better than Jurassic Park 3.
Oh man. If it's not, then
dude, like I want to see this movie. I am so cautiously optimistic, dude.
This is it. This is the finale, man.
Like, I'm just so cautiously optimistic.
And listen, everybody, you are going to be getting a fresh cut of Jurassic World Dominion. Don't know when, but hopefully very soon once you listen to this, because I am going to try my hardest to see this movie relatively within the first few days of its release, because this is one of the biggest releases for me of the year.
Yeah, I've got to go. I'm actually working an extra shift this week coming up, and I will be working at the theater on Saturday to help. We're doing like a thing, like we have a big T-Rex thing my boss bought. It's like an actual like large animatronic T-Rex suit. It was like $20,000. The guy likes his dinosaur suits. What can I say? So it's cool. I'll send some pictures. But anyway, like he's gonna have that and all this dinosaur related stuff, and I'm gonna help with like the dig pit. Like we're gonna have like these sand pits and have little dinosaur skeletons in it that kids can dig them out.
Very cool.
So that's what I'll be doing on Saturday. Not watching Jurassic World. That'll be Sunday.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing a fresh cut of Jurassic World Dominion as soon as we can, and of course, once it hits digital and Blu-ray and all that, we're going to be doing a full podcast episode on Jurassic World Dominion, because we have to add it into we've reviewed every single Jurassic Park / World film that's been put out already. So we got to finish it off. And so, it might be very close together like we did with the Batman, but once it comes out on Blu-ray, we're both going to be getting it. So we're going to be watching it and giving you guys that full dissection of Jurassic World Dominion. Very excited to do it.
Yes.
And to prep yourself for that, listen or watch all of our Jurassic Park / World videos, or listen. They're all available on any podcast services and on YouTube.
Yep. You need to do
a lot of content.
Yep. You definitely need to do that.
But speaking of things that we're going to be talking about, next week's episode 58, we're going to be celebrating another alien film, not Alien, okay, but a movie about an alien. But this one is a little bit different. But it's also celebrating its 40th anniversary. Let me grab it real quick. We're going to be talking about the 1982 John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I have not seen this movie in a long time, and I snagged this 4K Blu-ray for really cheap, by the way. But I heard it's a very good transfer, so I'm very excited to watch it.
I gotta get my copy back for my buddy before he goes on vacation. Shit.
So that will be next week's episode, but also don't make sure to check out. We just talked about Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
very excited for people to listen to our thoughts on that. And
just talked about it.
I said I wasn't going into a coughing fit right at the end.
Oh,
Son of a bitch. All your fault, Dan.
It is. I'm sorry.
But yeah, we have our Top Gun Maverick fresh cut. We have this next week. We got The Thing, so I'm very excited. Some of the shows are going to be, and me and Angela are going to be talking about Stranger Things season 4, volume 1 at some point soon. Once Obi-Wan Kenobi finishes, we're going to be putting out some content on that. Yeah, don't have any dates on any of that stuff, but it's all happening at some point. So stay tuned. We're always going to have content for you, even if it's not, 3 things a week. We're at least going to have something for you every week. All right. So thank you, everybody, for all the support. You guys have been killing it. We've been having some amazing days for downloads, and someday the YouTube might pick itself back up. We're trying to figure out where it is, but someday something will happen with it. But I appreciate everybody who supports the show. Thank you very much. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. We are Dissect That Film, and this has been Dissect That Film Podcast, episode 58. 7? What episode is this?
57.
57.
58 is next.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Just dies.
I'll be right here. Goodbye.